Good morning, everyone. Let me see if I am live. Let me see. Let me see. What do we got? Let me check my channel here. Refresh. Right. There we go. We're live. We are live. How is everybody doing out there today? Nice, nice day here this morning. Nice day. Uh, rain off and on. There's your weather forecast for the past couple days. Had rain, it's been off and it's been on. But yes, another beautiful day. Victor Coco, good morning, sir. How are you? He is one of my members. Victor Coco, thank you for being a member. Uh, I open up the members tab. Everybody's done it in the past. I figure, you know what? Let me throw it out there. If you're interested in joining and becoming a member, I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure a few things out. Uh, but everybody's done it. It's nothing new. I figured let me throw it out there. Let me join the crowd, right? All right. Good morning, Mike, our Philippine journey. I did notice you are shaved, buddy. Go check out our Philippine Journeys YouTube channel. He's here in Angeles City. Got to know him real well. We have breakfast a few times a week, solve all the world problems. You know how that is. Uh, but he just put put out a really good video. I thought it was good. IRL Media, how are you doing? I still don't know who you are, but I do know you have a YouTube channel also. Lucas Musser is in the house. Good morning, Lucas Musser. Ed Lippett, the legend Ed Lippett is in the house. How are you doing, Ed? uh, Aussie Joe. Hello, Aussie Joe. I just kicked some dude out. If you guys missed that. Some clown. Play a boy. You know, obviously he's a raw sewage backer. Likes to raw sewage. Another channel out there that to me is just I don't know. To each their own. Let's put it this way: to each their own. Paul S. Hello from Tacoma, Washington. How are you doing, Paul S. Past and present in history. Davao Don. Good morning, Davao Don. How are you doing, Davao Don? Can't wait to hear what's going on tonight. What's up, Davao Don? Mike, Florida. Lawson's Adventures. Shane. Bernadette Lawson. How are you guys doing? Guys, this is another Stay Frosty. Stay Frosty. Hiya, mate. Bruce Cinder. Good morning, Bruce. How is Bruce doing? Being a member is great. You've got that right, Victor. Somebody said, what are the perks? What are your perks? Well, you get a sticker beside you that says you're a member. And I have to figure it out. I got to get in there and figure it out. What I plan to do is release the videos as soon as I upload them to all the members so that members will get a jump ahead of everybody else that comes in to view a video. I'm even thinking about because YouTube does this great thing of not being suitable for most audiences, or not being suitable for most advertisers, and then you got to put a request for a review. I'm thinking about just throwing them over onto members only that can see the videos, like Walking Street, and if there's a girl in there, and all the other fun stuff YouTube likes to cry about, like me crying about YouTube, um, and then just let them sit there. And then once they become eligible, I'll throw them on the main channel. Um, but yeah, I gotta figure out how to upload the videos. No, I don't think it's a members only live, though all the members are showing up. Wow. Let me see. Let me go in here. Let me go back here. I don't know why it would just show members only. Uh I don't think I set it for that. Let me where are we at? Content. Doing some YouTubey stuff right now. Uh, Let me see. Let me go in here. Because no, I didn't think I set this one for members only. Bear with me here. When I open this up for everybody that can come in, a lot of times if you set it for members only stream, then only members can come in. Um, it's open to the public. Adventures of How Be We. It's just showing everybody now that's in here is a member. Usually you have to go back in and set that. I don't know. Of course, now that I'm trying to do it, I can't figure it out, right? Customize. No, no. Bear with me. Nope, I don't want to delete that. Eh. Anyways, it's not. It's set to normal. Okay. All right, Mike. Thank you. Thank you. So anybody's invited. Anybody's invited in. Um, People can say what they want to say. They can jump up here. Like I said, it's a channel, and live streams are for you guys. You guys want to come up. You want to say what you have to say. You want to leave comments. You want to voice your opinion. That's up to you. Of course, we got to draw a line. You know what I mean? Not a member, and I'm here. Okay. Singapore Dan says he's not a member. All right. All right. DC, no, my old lady will not let me be a member of Filipinas. uh, Philly cheesesteak looked good. Too bad you couldn't get some provolone. Robert, I could get provolone. There is provolone here. You can get provolone. You can pretty much get, I wouldn't say every single cheese, but the common cheeses that are here. You can find them between S&R, Landers. There's a couple delis here you can go to. You can find it. It's just, I didn't have it. I just had cheddar. So that's what I went with. I went with that cheddar cheese. It's still a cheesesteak, right? But yeah. And like I said, other people add other things. It's up to them what they want. Onions. Somebody, my friend JR, he made himself a cheesesteak the other day. And that's what got me on this cheesesteak kick. He made this cheesesteak and he sent me a photo. And I said, Philly cheesesteak don't have mushrooms on it. Yes, it does. I'm like, an authentic Philly cheesesteak does not have onions on it. I know. Don't argue with me. I'm from Philadelphia area. I know what a cheesesteak is. Um, those were all add-ons. People wanted peppers. They wanted mushrooms. They want tomatoes. They want whatever they want. They can put on what they want. But then authentic is those four ingredients. Who are you roasting today? Well, I don't know if I'm going to roast the guy. I'm going to voice what I think of the guy. Um, World Zoom. And if World Zoom is here, you can feel free to jump on the mic, come up on the camera, whatever, and speak your piece. Um, I don't know. Here's my thought. How much would a ribeye cost? A good ribeye? If you're going to buy a nice USD ribeye steak, all right, there's a couple places that do sell them. There's a place that sells frozen steaks over by the VFW. I've got a steak from there. You can get an Australian steaks too, which are a little bit cheaper, but a good USDA steak here is going to run you frozen. Of course, according to what do they go by here? Grams or whatever. They're going to cost you 1,200, 13, 1,400 pesos. You're looking at 30 bucks or more for a good one. Now that's you getting it, you making it, you preparing it. What do they get at Roadhouse? I don't know. I don't know. Haven't eaten at the Roadhouse yet. So I really couldn't tell you. But to run a business like that here, making Philly cheesesteaks with authentic ingredient ribeye, you're never going to make your money. It's just not going to happen. Now, could you make a little bit of money off of the cheesesteak I made? Probably. You probably could because for the simple reason that meat I bought at that Kmart, it's it was very cheap, very cheap. I think like 120 pesos for all that meat, and then an onion, and onions, and onion. A thing of cheese, and the rolls. But I still wouldn't do it. There's not a draw there for Filipino people to constantly buy. I wouldn't even think about it. Uh, Victor Coco, Brian, can you mention how long the lines are for getting a cheesesteak when Cowboys play Eagles fans? Yeah. The thing is, though, cheesesteaks are all over Philadelphia, in the Philadelphia area, in a tri-state area. Um, they're just all over. Um, you got to pick and choose which place you like to get yours. Who makes the best? Um, Rolls are a key to it. Anyway, that's enough of the cheese talk. The cheese miss, right? Um, yeah, let's world zoom. Like I said, anybody want to jump up and say their thoughts, put them out there. Everybody has a right to express their opinion. Um, Not everybody's going to like everybody. That's just the way it rolls. Um, World Zoom, don't really watch him. Only watched him because things were controversial with him, um, with people questioning his background, people questioning, what he was saying, his stories. He came in light. I don't know how many months ago. He was on the Filipino Peas channel. Um, he was on Paul Old Dog New Tricks channel. He was on Mark Thornton's channel. Talked a good talk, right? Like a used car salesman. I always say a used car salesman, they can talk you into a used car, right? Thing might not have an engine in it, but he can talk you into that car. And then everything came to light. People started questioning his story, started checking into his background, and everything like that. And then he got called out. He got called out um, as being a liar, as not telling the truth. Uh, did time in jail, federal for what? Embezzlement. I think it was embezzlement. Um, Feds, of course, expat trash in the Philippines. Their little take on it. By the way, they wow, 12,000 views on that. That did pretty darn good. Expat trash in the Philippines is now up over 1,000 subscribers. Um, but can people make mistakes? Sure, they can make a mistake. Uh, People make mistakes all the time. I mean, I worked in a prison. There were guys in there that they got convicted of a crime in the 70s and 80s when they said, you fit the description, right? He fits the description. What does that mean, right? Here, I could say, I was talking to this Filipino guy down the road. You know what? Well, what did he look like? Well, he had dark hair, dark eyes, and brown skin. Well, that fits a description. It was a broad thing. So guys were sitting in jail uh, with the fit the description case on them. Then after DNA came along, man, these guys they ran right up there and got them DNA tests, and some of the guys are out. Um, but yeah, he evidently got a 10-year sentence. Only did two. All right, so that makes me kind of think, guys get 10 years, 2 years. You're looking at least almost half in the state of Pennsylvania. You got to do at least half your time before you become eligible for parole. What happened? I don't know. People are saying, well, he ratted somebody out. He got close with another inmate, and that inmate dumped information on him, and he turned around and he ran to the authorities and ratted that inmate out because there were um, pending, I guess, investigations on that inmate. Does that happen? Yes, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. I've seen it. Guys want to wheel and deal with the state to lessen their sentence. I've seen it all the time. But people are calling them out on that. I don't know. They're People can call out whatever they want, but they have to back it up with some type of documentation. All right. We don't know. I don't know. Only he knows. Only he knows. Um, is he deported? They're like, oh, he's deported. I don't know if he's deported or not. Uh, it's kind of weird though. All right. Here, if somebody tells me, "Oh, you've been deported," you know, what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my camera. I'm going to show you the date on my camera. I'm going to walk out in the Philippines here and be like, "Look, it doesn't look like I'm deported, right?" But they're claiming he's been deported. Don't know. How do you prove people wrong? Right? I'm going to go. If I live here in Angeles City, I'm going up to Walking Street. Here's a time. Here's a date. Here I am. So, like I say, I don't know. I don't watch his channel. The clown here isn't a. I got to put this one up from Jim. The clown lied and said he was cellmate with the merchant of death in Thailand. Uh, I don't know about that. Maybe he did say it. I don't. I didn't. I'm not going to sit and watch every single one of the guy's videos. It's not my thing. But yes, people do make mistakes. They can make mistakes. And if he was, he actually, if he would have just came right up front and said, "Yes, I made these mistakes in my life. I did my time. I paid my debt to society. I'm moving on. I'm trying to start a new life. I'm here in the Philippines." More power to him. But then again, if you were convicted of a crime, I mean, are you going to go out and tell everybody? You know, people always have this. They label people that have been in prison as just bad people. He's a bad person. Not all people are bad people. You know, because a guy um, did something wrong, is he a bad? People can change themselves. They can change themselves for the better. Um, then again, you got career criminals that are just in and out and in and out and in and out of jail. I mean, it's all they know. They're career criminals. Um, anyways, let's see if anybody wants to come up on live chat and say what they got to say. Like I said, this is open. Click that link. By the way, I get a screen that shows you sitting there for me to bring you up. So nobody, Mike or Philippine Journey, I don't want you coming up on camera sitting there naked. All right. You either adlip it, you can click that link. You can join the live. You can voice your opinion. What do you think? Um, like I said, this is for people to voice their opinion, to say what they want to say. Um, you're right, Don. You can pay your dues, but you can't lie about your past after. True, true. And if you have a criminal record, it's out there for the public. Anybody can jump on, these sites to check people's background, check people's criminal record. CD Morrissey, let's bring him up. This gentleman joined us last. He
Hey,
joined us.
folks.
He joined us last week in the live stream. Uh,
Hold
Ed Lippett. Let's bring up Ed. Better
hold on.
not be
Let
naked,
me
Ed.
turn down my. Let me turn.
Yeah, you got a little feedback there.
Should be done.
There's Ed. How you doing, Ed?
I'm here. And by
All
the
right.
way, your cheese, you might have thought it was good, but you did not have a whiz. Cheesesteak is nothing without whiz. It's all in the
No,
cheese.
no whiz. Whiz
It's
out.
all bull. From Northeast PA, we need Northeast, it's whiz. My goodness. You
Oh,
Southerners.
Uh,
what's going on, CD? How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Here in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, you're in Scottsdale?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. What's going on in Scottsdale? You coming to the Philippines anytime soon? What's your deal?
I'll be there April of next year.
Okay. You retiring here, just visiting here? What's your plan?
Semi-retiring. I'll
Okay.
be still doing some part-time work for a few companies.
And you've obviously are you married to a Filipina or
No, no,
engaged, talking to one
no,
online? Is she taking
no,
all your
hell no.
money? You feeding her thousands and thousands of dollars for her Carabao or anything? Nothing like
Yeah,
that.
fuck that.
All right, right.
That's not going to happen.
What,
So,
what is your connection to the Philippines? I mean, people always have some type of connection. So there has to be a connection for you here. Whether Navy, were you here in when you were in the Navy or
no, no. Well, I was there in the '70s. I spent a lot of time there. I was on the Enterprise I was in a fighter squadron, uh, VF-1, and we cruised on the Enterprise. And I spent a lot of time in the Philippines over 4 years. I did 3 Westpac cruises, so I spent a lot.
all right? So that was years ago, huh?
Yes, it was. So, but no, I'm just bored. I've got it so good in here. Life is just too damn easy, and I just need to change it up, man. So
That's the thing here. At least in this area, Angeles City area, Subic Bay area, a lot of people have ties to these areas when they were in the military. And that was what? Geez, that's like 32 years ago when Pinatubo went up, 91. But so many people have had so many ties here from back then that they remember it. And they were all young guys. And they remember the fun and the just being here. And now, 30 years later, 40 years later, they're coming to retire here. But you see that a lot here. And then you got a lot of young guys that I've noticed too that are here retired also. But yeah, there's something that draws people to this area and also down to Subic, right, Ed?
I like the seven, Gil.
I'm going to Davao City.
Okay, all right.
I
Just
think that works for me. I like the everything there, so that's what I'm gonna
and
hang
you've
out.
been there before?
I went there once.
Okay.
That was I guess it was 1977. I took a trip
Right.
down there. I took some leave while I was in the Navy, and that isn't really why I'm going to go there. I've just of all my investigations, of current things over there. That I think that'll work for me the best. The area, how it's spread out, and where it's located. And I'm a scuba
Right.
diver, so
Okay.
well, anywhere in the Philippines is good for scuba diving, unless you're
Sure,
really
sure.
inland, But over there, it's pretty close. So yeah, so that'll work for me.
Well, you never know.
I
I mean,
may
if you
take
do
a
some,
trip.
go ahead, Ed.
As I may take a trip down to Angeles, but just stay on Clark for a week. Just
Stay out
don't
of
leave
Clark.
Clark.
What's wrong with Clark?
Well, just stay on Clark. You can do it. Well,
I've heard
everything they
about
have up
Clark.
there.
I've heard about Clark a bit. Now, I don't know. It seems okay, but I kind of like Davao. It's more spread out, less overall, less expats there. It's more. I don't know. I think it's more laid back than a lot of the other places overall.
Right.
So
See now,
anyway,
no desire to go to Dumaguete, Allen.
Yeah.
It's just
Fuck.
to me. You know what?
no.
I've thought about like, all right, is that where I want to go? Do I want to move from Angeles City, go down to Dumaguete, Dowen, and all that? And I'm like, you know what? It seems like it's over. I think it's overloaded here with a lot of expats.
Oh
Down
yeah.
there, it seems
You don't
like
want to
it's
go to Zuma.
more overloaded. And no offense, but I'm, I don't I don't need to be around a ton of expats. You know,
Okay, if you want to come up to Negros, you stay in Bacolod. Bacolod is the coolest city. If you want to really reside in Negros, I'd go to, yeah, I'd go over there. I'd go to the capital, go to Bacolod. I'm about an hour away from Bacolod. I go there maybe twice a month. It's not
right?
too bad. That's a good place.
I'm not really a beach guy. I like to scuba dive, but I'll go there to scuba dive. But actually living by the beach or, being there, I don't really give a damn about the beach, honestly. I just like the water. Scuba diving. So I'm not going to splash in the surf and, board, swim board and all that. But yeah, I'm just a scuba diver.
Not over here. You're not going to
Yeah.
see that over here. There's no,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, up here, there's no waves. There's hardly no waves at all. And I got like a bay on one side of me, the ocean on the other side of me. And there's no waves.
What's that, Mike? That's a good one. So I thought, were we supposed to be raking Paul Cardell over the coals here or what?
If you want, I mean, you can.
No, I'm just saying. I thought,
anything.
yeah. I've had a lot of interactions with him on his videos, commenting, and he's been very nice and he responds quite nicely. I've never, gone off on him. He's an odd fellow, but I think he just wants to escape his past and deny, just get away from it. But it's too late for that. You don't try to escape your past when you're a high-profile criminal and start a fucking YouTube channel. Jeez, I mean, let's just put a sign up. Hey, look at me! It's like, jeez.
Right.
But it's pretty stupid. I mean, jeez. I mean, he goes to Thailand, living like a millionaire because he was on stolen money. And somebody said, this guy looks suspicious. If he'd have kept a low profile, he'd probably still be over there having a good time instead of being, lambasted.
So is all that true about him being in Thailand?
Yes, actually it is.
He was wasn't he claiming that they came in, whatever it was, came in, shut that area down where he was working, and he was drawn over $1 million for some type of entry. Do you believe that?
No.
Or
I've read all the. I did a deep dive on him and found a lot of information, federal documents that talk about what happened to him and why and how and all the shit that happened, and the stories he told about, on Old Dogs and Mark's channel was just a bucket of shit. Just, I mean, he really turned a yarn or whatever. That was nonsense. He went there, he lived like a king, and he got caught, and they extradited him back to the United States. That's pretty much what happened. All the other stuff is bullshit. So
did he actually get extradited back?
Yeah, the FBI, they located him because someone squealed on him in Thailand because he looked suspicious the way he was living, throwing money around, buying things, just really being extravagant. That's what I've read.
Here, another thing too is when he got charged with that crime back in the States, all right, they pulled his passport. Didn't they give him another? Wouldn't they give him another charge for falsifying a passport document to leave again?
Well, what kind of charges he had, kind of, like a parking ticket. I mean, he went to trial and he wound up pleading out. He didn't go to complete a jury a decision. He pled out for a deal to 10 years.
Right.
So they didn't bother even charging him for a comparatively piddly charge like a passport violation when he ripped off a couple $1 million and fled the jurisdiction and all that. So so the guy's I think he's for a smart guy, he's been pretty stupid. I mean the way he's done shit, because there's a way to do things, and he that's makes sense, and he's like not there. So now he's paying for it. I don't know if he's deported though. That expat trash in the Philippines channel said he was deported, but he denies it, Paul. But I don't know. I don't see how they could deport him. He hasn't done anything deportable. Just making a fool of yourself and lying through your teeth to your subscribers. I mean,
Right,
that doesn't
right,
get
right.
deported. He hasn't threatened the government or anarchy or protested in the streets against the mayor or anything. So yeah,
And
so
he's not he's not wanted for
no,
anything back in the States or anything like that. He did his time. Uh, so for him to be deported, but see, then people are like, well, when's the last time you see the grandfather clock in the Philippines? When he does his videos, there's a grandfather clock
I
sitting
saw
beside
that.
him.
I
I'm like,
noticed the
when is the
chain.
last time
Yeah,
you've seen that? I've
yeah, I
never
saw
seen a
that.
grandfather. Could there be? Maybe an expat may, you know, export one over and bring it over. Who knows? But I've never seen a grandfather clock here.
Now I was saying I don't think he's deported. That doesn't mean he's still in the Philippines. I mean,
Right,
he
right.
could have gone. He could be. Who the hell knows where he could be? But
But he's
he's doing
pulling
his
it
videos.
off like he's still here.
Well, he started doing. Well, first, he started off with those weird video screens with him in a circle amongst a big sky background. I thought, what the hell is this? It looked ridiculous. And then he was in his car, just driving along. Hey, how you doing? And then he's in some kind of 1950s kitchen. It looked like with I don't know. And then he was in that with the grandfather clock. So what the hell? Who did?
Right,
I don't know what
right.
the hell's going on. But so I don't know. He's not going to,
Here's another one. Like Mike said, there's a lot of woodwork in his current location. Something you don't see
Yeah.
here.
If it was bamboo, then yeah, okay.
You
But
know,
yeah, so, yeah,
someone needs to actually zoom in, figure out what kind of wood it is. Right? Is it oak? All right. Well, there's no oak here. All right. So who knows? I mean, we have woodwork here, trim woodwork in our place, but you don't see like you see in his place like that.
that's true. It does look very
These are just the
Victorian.
questions.
Yeah, it's very Victorian. Like a library at some old guy's house from the 1950s.
Right.
But
All right.
I think he's just really in such a defensive mode. I mean, he's never going to spill it.
JJ says,
Yeah.
I've heard he's back in Tipton, Indiana. His videos now look like a Western house.
There you go. Tipton, Indiana.
But now he's
I
going
think he want to go anywhere but the scene of the crime. I think he'd want to pick a different state. I mean, because that's where he is. Indiana is where he stole all the money. I think he'd want to hide, go like that,
right. Yeah.
Oregon or something, or somewhere where nobody would notice him.
People are
But then
saying
he's already demonstrated he's not very intelligent for starting a YouTube channel in the first place. that in itself shows bad judgment. So,
Mark Hall, he talked about Mark back in the Philippines in his last video. He's definitely not. I picked it up too.
Oh, yeah.
He said back in the Philippines. I picked that up too. So
I responded in one of his earlier videos. I think it was that one where he responded that elephant in the room one. I think it was, and I said something like, "Yeah, that guy really is on your ass." And then his response was, "Quote." He goes, "Yeah, I really hate that guy." That was all his response was. So, and now he's coming back saying, "Oh, I don't hate the guy." So I wish he'd make up his mind, either hate him or not.
Yeah.
I think he does, frankly, because he's the one who basically, pulled the rug out from under him. So why wouldn't he hate him? Makes sense.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't watch all his videos. I don't watch a lot of people's videos, but just kind of sitting there breezing through a few of his videos and his recent videos and his question and answers and different things like that. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, why don't, if I'm in the Philippines, I'm in the Philippines. If I'm not in the Philippines, I'm going to say I'm not in the Philippines.
Well, but he wants to generate income, I think, from his channel. So if he said, "I'm in Tipton, Indiana, let me tell you about Dumageddon," people are going to go, "Fuck you." Yeah. So he has to keep that up because, people aren't going to, engage him if he's, in Tipton, Indiana.
Yeah.
With a grandfather clock in the background, especially so. So because I assume he's generating some kind of income. I mean, he's got 10,000 or whatever subscribers. I don't know what the hell it is.
Right. Yeah. He's not.
And it's just
You know,
videos, they get enough views. He's got to be making some money. So, you know,
and he got caught embezzling so much money. What didn't they
1.7.
catch him? What didn't they catch him on? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. Well, they charged him with a number of things. The biggest one was money laundering. Uh, uh, Money laundering. I forget all the charges. All good ones though. All nice felonies. So, but actually, when I read all about him, he was very stupid about that. The way he did it. The first thing you do when you commit felonies, not that I'm a felon, but I used to be a cop. So the first thing you do is, if you can do it, you never have accomplices, because that's one of the things that always destroys you. Because, they always
Right.
get somebody to rat out each other, or somebody's weak and oh yeah, I don't want to go to jail, and they squeal on you. So if you're going to commit crimes, always do it alone. Don't tell anybody.
True.
There's
I know nothing.
tips for your subscribers. So,
I know nothing.
I mean, when I was a cop, I can't tell you how many people, the stupidest sons of bitches in the world, I'd sometimes have them in cuffs and go, what the hell is wrong with you? I mean, geez. I mean, how stupid
Right.
can you be? I don't know, man. I needed the money. I was high. I was drunk. It's ridiculous.
True. There's the
Yeah.
link. If you want to join the live stream, click on the link. I'll put it in again. Join us. Say what you got to say. Voice your opinion. That's what I've done. Here's an open forum. Voice your opinion. What you think, good or
Come
bad.
Come in,
Expat
mean
Trash
mountain.
says he is
Cardell.
lying to his audience. His subs haven't budged since the news of who he really is broke. If he wasn't deported, then why isn't he still in the Philippines if he loves it so much? That's the thing. That's what we're saying. Deported. Why would he have been deported? He
No,
didn't.
he's not.
He hasn't committed a. The only thing he's done is lie. Now, is that a crime? I guess under oath, it's a crime. But you can lie
No.
all you want.
Yeah.
Why would he be deported? But
No,
we'll
he
see.
wasn't deported. No way.
Jack,
I think honestly, he's taking a lot of heat. I mean, now they got a new channel that's drilling him into the dirt. They got yeah, and there's a couple others too. I saw they're because he's good for clicks, and views. So yeah, obviously people are going to milk that because they want to make money. So, but I think he just kind of wanted to get out of the heat, because he's pretty recognizable. He stands out.
right. Like Mike says, I don't think he was deported. That would have been a super fast deportation.
Yeah, nah. He's just trying to get
Unless
away
he
from
wanted. Jack Painter, how are you doing?
Hey,
Jack,
oh,
are you there, Jack? Can you hear me?
hey, can you see me
I see
waving?
you sitting there with your hoodie. It looks like you're packing up your stuff and boxing stuff up.
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think you can either.
He must have his mic or something on mute.
Something. Jack.
I wish I had a sign to hold up. Turn on your mic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
maybe he couldn't even hear us. I don't even think he could hear us, obviously. He was just sitting there staring at the wall. But I watch a lot of YouTube videos because I have a lot of free time. Because I mean, I work full time, but it's a pretty lollygagging job. I make good money. I do CAD and engineering and stuff, but I'm pretty much there by myself. I watch YouTube videos all day while I'm doing CAD drawings. So I watch a lot of videos. I really do. Mostly all about the Philippines because I'm because I'm going there and I just like to know about that. And I've watched. I watch you regularly. I watch World Zoom, Mark, and I watch, oh God, I can't even name them all. They come up on my feed. So I keep pretty up to speed on most of the major, and even some of the smaller channels. So I'm pretty in touch. I got a lot of free time. It's one of the reasons I'm leaving. I'm too much free time here. I need to go somewhere where I can have less free time. Well, actually, I'll have a lot of free time in the Philippines, but I'll have more to do. That's the thing. Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah. Even though I'll get to wait in the old guy's line to get through things faster, I'll still have to wait more overall, unless I pay people off to take their place.
There it is. Like Tom's Away says he's working on getting his SRRV. That's what he says. And when you do that, they do a background check on you. Now, how in depth do they go? Do they just check your record within the Philippines? If you're wanted for anything, if you got something pending,
I
how
did
does
a little
that work?
check-in on that. I did a little
Right?
check-in on that, and they have some specific guidelines for crimes, the criteria they use to disqualify you. Violent crimes, crimes of sexual crimes.
Right.
What are the other ones? There's a few of them, but white collar crime, which is basically what he did, doesn't really disqualify you. It's
Right.
it's it's pretty milk toast as far as crimes go, as opposed to like cutting someone's head off, or if we're
Sure. Sure.
moving a
Sure.
couple of 100 pounds of fentanyl across the border and getting caught or something, yeah, so he should be fine. Well, I mean, from what we know anyway. So
Now,
I mean,
Mike says, where's he at? Mike says, MBI only checks your record in the Philippines. Could be
that's
true.
true, but if you're from another country, now if you're in the Philippines, when you apply for your SRRV, if you apply within 30 days, they don't require a Philippines background check. If
Okay.
you've been there, it's either 30 or 90 days, I forget. Maybe it's 60 days. It's some short period of time, though. They don't do a background check on you. However, they require you, regardless if you're from another country, to have a apostilled background check, which means it has to be certified by the government before you can get an SRRV. In addition to your apostilled DD-214 and whatever your pension is also, you have to have that also certified and apostilled. So yeah, you still have to have a background check. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you were in the Philippines for 5 years and you're from another country, they're still going to require, because the reason why is because in the Philippines they got this this tourist 3-year. You just walk in, here I am, and you just go into immigration every 30, 60, 90, wherever phase you are. You don't have to show
Right.
nothing. You just give them your money.
Right.
You could be Dillinger. I mean, they don't give a shit. But if you get an SRV, you are going to have a background check, and it's hell to get
Sure.
from the Philippines.
But like Mike says too, when your SSRV is processed, you must wait in the country, or the process has to start all over.
Yeah,
So
you
if he
can only
is,
do it.
good. If he is, he is. I don't.
Yeah, you can only do it in the Philippines. You can't get an SRV
Right.
unless you're in the country. As I did a lot of investigation because I'm going to be getting one, and I'm a veteran, so it's pretty cheap. So I'll be getting all my paperwork, apostilled, $150 a sheet, by the way, it costs to send it off to the feds to certify it. So when I get there, I'll just do that the first couple of weeks I'm there. I already hooked up with Rose in Manila from Paul's Info Channel. She handles all that SRV applications for veterans for free. You just have to go to Manila, you stay there for 2 days, and she takes care of everything for you. So
you also, as a vet, you also got to deposit $1,500. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, I was going to move to Malaysia. You have to deposit $34,000 if you want a retirement visa in Malaysia. $34,000.
Wow.
It's 24 in Thailand. Yeah, they want the money. And, I don't mind it. I got the money, but it's just going to sit there, and you can't get it until you leave. Well, I don't plan on leaving. So I'd like to use it before I die. So $1,500, I don't give a damn about that. That's pocket change, compared to $34,000. Otherwise, I would have probably gone to Malaysia at least to start, because I like Malaysia too. But
Kenny, yes, SSRVs for veterans. They do have that here.
Yeah.
For military veterans, they do have it.
Otherwise,
I know quite a few guys that are on that visa right now. And
yeah,
they had to deposit $1,500 into a bank account, and
it sits there.
It
there. Collects about 4% interest, so you can take the interest out. But but you have to remember this. A lot of people. I've done a lot of investigations. I'm a paranoid fucking prepper son of a bitch, so I always overthink everything. So you have to remember, if you're going to open a Philippines bank account, you can, but if you ever go over $10,000, you have to register for taxes. Otherwise, you never have to, because as an American, you don't have to file taxes there unless you work there. So if you get your SRRV, and you have that $1,500 in that bank account, well, that's a separate government kind of bank account. So when you open your own bank account at BMO or whatever the hell, BPI, you need to remember to keep that under $8,500, because if you put in like $8,501, you're going to have to file taxes in the Philippines. So a lot of people don't think about that. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind.
Kuya John, welcome.
Hey, how's it going, you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. I just wanted to remind everybody that Jasper's over there having a mental breakdown because all his haters are following him and making new accounts every 15 seconds. It's hilarious.
Jasper.
That's part of this YouTube game we are in. If it bothers him, then I don't know, maybe he should just get out of the game or just completely ignore it. That's all you have to do.
He's having a mental breakdown right now. I love following him for the past couple of weeks. Has it been 2 weeks or 1 week since we did the live? 1 week?
Yeah, about a week now, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I've been watching him every day. His tone has changed since we did the live, but I have been commenting, telling him, hey, I'm the guy that made your tone change. And he didn't like that. So today it's official. He's back to being the old Jasper. He's screaming top of his lungs, asking what the end goal is. All of his haters. What do you want me to leave the Philippines? It's never going to happen, bitch. What do you want me to get arrested? It's not going to happen, bitch. Shit like that.
You're right, John. I've watched his past week, him doing his lives, and he calmed down. He was actually, you could actually sit and listen to him talk and enjoy the channel. And I don't know if I had a running bet with somebody or whatever, and they said, well, give it time. Let's see what happens.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe he thrives off of that. The negative attention.
He dug himself a hole he can't get out of. So he's all in there. We started off going off like a maniac, talking like an asshole and being an asshole, insulting people, just being a jerk. Yeah. Yeah. Then he got called on it, and now he's like, well, shit, okay, well, let me dial it back. Well, it's too late for that. And he realized that. So now he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go to the wind, man. And so you might as well just go all out because it's too late for him. He's,
Exactly. I'm actually so invested because I've done the same thing in the past. I was ostracized from a whole industry because of me acting exactly like Jasper acts, but actually 10 times worse, making grown men cry type of acting. And it wasn't YouTube. I was easily able to get off social media and just focus on business. And that's what I did for the past 3 years. I took a back seat and I closed my mouth. I don't know how he's going to fix this, though, because he needs to stay on YouTube every day. So I'm invested in seeing his future. I actually am rooting for him. If he's watching this, he could be cool and just needs to be more respectful. I got so pissed off at him because he's saying the word "I know," but he doesn't fully understand how the Filipinos use the word "I know." So he's there, been there for 6 months. He thinks he knows everything, and he's disrespecting the culture, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? And I hope he does well too. I really do. And if he would just stick to the way he was, but it's his own channel. If he would stick to the way he was for the past week, people will come in. They'll be more involved in it instead of that I'm kicking your ass, I'm kicking you this and that. Like that was just old. I mean, but it is what it is.
Well, I loved your video the other day, going and seeing the construction there. Thanks for showing that. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's exactly why I follow Philly. He's always showing cool shit. He's thinking ahead. And I bet you 90% of your followers love that video.
Oh, a lot of the thing is, I have so many followers follow me for so many different reasons. I do stuff like that at the old hospital. I enjoy going in there. I've always had a draw to that hospital. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm into the paranormal and all that other stuff. And when they start renovating it, I have access to get in there. Most people, unless you've got some type of connection, you're not going to get in there anymore. And I'd like going in there and seeing all that. But people will follow me for that. People follow me for diving. People, of course, love walking street. I mean, there's so many different reasons people follow me.
If you
But it is
if you're looking for votes on what to do, I definitely love the history aspect of things. Really in a great area too there for that.
right. And there's so much history on Clark that's been kind of lost.
Mm,
You know, I'm talking between the Americans with the Filipinos working side by side, you know, during the World War II, and just the history there. And you can go around and you can find, and I found them, old statues, but they're grown over. Like they don't
wow.
even, and to me, I would think that would be great to say get all the statues that are standing around, hidden, tucked away, and get them up to that museum.
Mm,
Except for like the parade ground, because the parade ground, there's a lot of history there, and they show a lot of history. But those little statues and stuff that are just tucked away, bring that up there and display that. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
mm. I'm really glad. It shows a lot of character of yours to say publicly that you are rooting for Jasper. His biggest issue is that he was a dick publicly, and you just can't do that nowadays. As cool as it is, and as great as it makes you feel, it pisses too many people off.
Right. But is that the young attitude that, to me, when I watch them, it's like that's what I got away from in America. That like just
Mm,
that tough guy attitude and
mm.
screw you like that's what I got away from. I don't want to be around any of that anymore.
That's
Well, I
how
think it's
people talk. We people put up fronts. It's like when I was in the Navy, there was guys who used to wear SEALs emblems, tridents on their hats, and they weren't SEALs. And I used to tell them, you really shouldn't wear that. Oh no, people think
Right.
I'm a SEAL. They're gonna kick the shit out of you when they see you, make you eat that thing. And one of the guys I knew, that actually happened to him. He was about 5'3", weighed about 110 pounds. He used to always wear this SEAL stuff and tell people he was a SEAL. And he got the shit kicked out of him in Olongapo City by some actual SEAls. And I think they actually
Sure.
pounded that thing into his chest too, the trident, like they do on the coffins when they're burying their shipmates. Yeah, he didn't wear it after that, after he got out of sick bay.
Okay.
So that's what Jasper reminds me of. He reminds me of a phony tough guy. Because he's on a camera, he's got that separation from reality. He can pretend to be anybody he wants to be. I'm a fucking tough guy. Don't drive up on me. Oh, you don't want to mess with me,
I'm not 5 feet. I'm 5'2".
What's that?
He's 46 years old. When I
I
came
know.
to the
That's like a junior
Philippines,
high school
I was
student.
in my 40s when I first started coming to the Philippines. What did I get here? When I was 48. So there's a 2-year
Yeah.
difference between him and me when I
You
got
know,
here.
like you said,
got-
you didn't want to see that in USA, and you see it coming over to the Philippines. But that's the coming of age. It's bound to happen. My first time in the Philippines, it was like, wow, this must be what it was like in the 70s in USA. Like
Right.
that's kind of, I'm talking like Mindanao province life type of thing.
Hey, man.
And
Yeah.
eventually, you're always gonna get caught up to the new age.
Right.
Well, eventually somebody's gonna catch up to you. I knew a guy when I was growing up, Victor Palacios. He's not listening because he was killed in prison because he murdered somebody. I knew he'd wind up in
Years
prison.
ago, it was different
And,
too. It's all because internet and everything.
What's that?
But yeah, one thing, if anybody's listening and wondering about the girls in the Philippines, if I can say, yeah, they're the same as girls in USA. A woman is a woman. It doesn't matter what country that you're in.
Is my mic working?
Yeah, it's on. It's on. I hear you.
Oh, I can tell
if you want to watch a guy who is in Manila, I don't know how old he is. He may be my age or not. Check out that link I put. Video Lux. He's in the Philippines. He lives in Manila. He might even be working online. I forget his whole story, but that's how a guy, going to clubs, enjoying life. He has a great channel, and he's been doing it for a long time. I never understood why he never grew, but Video Lux, great channel. Check him out.
Video
That's how
Lux.
you enjoy life in Manila, in that club scene, in living in Makati and all that. Guy's down to earth, does great work.
Said Video Lux, Lux.
Yeah, I just put the link
Okay, nice.
in the channel here.
He's
Great guy.
Probably because he's sane, unlike Jasper. So it's easier.
How much did he make last week, Philly, from that guy Neanderthal? $100?
Ooh,
The guy that Neanderthal, Jasper's guy that was donating with the
who, me? How
comments.
much did I make?
Yeah, yeah, from the Neanderthal
It
guy.
was around, yeah, it was around there. And that guy, some people said, "Oh, it's not a real super chat." It was.
Mm.
That's one of his big backers. Him and Todd, they're like his big backers. New Jersey King, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Jesse, Jesse Stone, thank you. Jasper's a psycho stalker. Gosh, please don't send him back to the USA. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, those guys are big backers of him. Financially, financially.
It's the trust fund money. It must be.
I don't know. Here's another, and he even stated in his video, if it wasn't for those guys, he'd probably be packing up and leaving. But
Mm.
doesn't he
Well,
claim how
people,
we went from we went from Exhumed to Jasper again, but
I think
he
that was my I think that was my
that's all
fault.
right.
I
That's
stepped
all
in and
right.
mentioned it. Sorry, I didn't mean to mention that guy. So,
Everybody's welcome to voice their opinion. But
yeah.
if those people weren't backing him, he said he wouldn't be making it.
Mm.
That's where I don't
I don't
I
believe
catch
anything
him
the
in
guy
saying
says.
these things. So
I think he
Yeah.
just wants to say whatever. I don't believe anything the guy says. So all this. Oh yeah, this and that. I don't think he has any credibility for anything he says. So
If any
what he said,
if anybody's listening and wants to go to the Philippines, don't go to Boracay. I've never even been to Boracay. I've been to the Philippines over 20 times. Never been to Boracay. It's a tourist trap, I'm sure.
yes,
He's sitting there in his hotel looking at greener. Ooh, the water's a little bit more blue than normal. That's not the real Philippines. He's not living life.
it's one of the top tourist destinations in the Philippines.
Mm,
Is it the best place to go? No, I don't think it
no
is.
way.
I've been to other places that are a lot nicer. It's a tourist trap.
Mm.
I've been to some
Is it
nice
beautiful?
beaches in
Is it
Subic.
beautiful to go and
Very nice
visit?
beaches.
Yes. Is it beautiful enough for me to retire there? Nah, not really.
Nah, I like the city. Yeah, I live in a high-rise condo right in the heart of the city, where all the action is.
No,
Even the
I-
trashy beaches are beautiful out there as long as you're away from guys like Jasper.
Yeah,
uh,
I'd like to meet up with him just so I could say, hey, remember me? I'm the guy whose sister you said you fucked. See what he has to say. He's like, oh, I didn't mean it. They'd probably deny it.
Well, he's
Okay,
on the stream now. Sorry, Philly. He's on the stream now. Definitely having a mental breakdown. Definitely threatening, fighting people again, doing the same stuff he was doing a couple weeks ago. So now would be the perfect time.
but he lets people get to him.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
the thing.
dude, I own a business here. I have 3 of my workers doing it too. I don't know about in their own time, but when we're sitting here on break, I'll sit here, have them throw their phone out and fuck with them too. He's asking for it just from this tone of voice sitting there. I don't want to get crazy like last time.
I think he thinks the generating all that drama is going to increase his views, and actually, I think it has because people just want to people always love to see a train wreck. But Philly, you don't have any real controversial anything that I've ever seen. I mean, you still probably get people haters. I would think you probably still get some ridiculous comments and emails telling you you're an asshole or something, don't you?
Oh, you know
And
what?
you don't even do anything controversial. I mean, geez.
People just don't like you for you or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've weeded those people out over the years. My block list is huge. I just weed them out. It's like,
That's
you're not
interesting.
getting to me. You're not bothering me.
Yeah.
I've been called Frankenstein and Dark Eyes. I've had every name at me. I've had every name, and I've had guys come at me bigger in person, working in the prison.
Mm.
They're in front of me. You just learned it's all bravado. It's all loud talk. You're not going to talk like that in front of somebody, and you just weed people out. I've had my ass kicked all up and down Walking Street many a times on YouTube. You
Mm,
just block them. You get rid of them. And, there was a point where I was looking over my shoulder. I'm like,
mm,
maybe one of these dudes are going to get me, And then it's like everybody I've ran into, subscribers, people living here and stuff. Hey, how you doing, Philly? I watch your channel all the time. Keep up the good work. I've never ran into that tough guy, except
mm.
for that one guy that was just drunk and just he went after
Drunks.
he started talking nasty to my wife in front of me, and
Oh
I went
boy.
after him,
Nice.
because of what he was saying, you know. But later on, a week later, he's apologizing to me. I didn't know you knew so many people here and stuff. And yeah, there's a line that I won't let people cross. But you're kicking my ass in the comment section or whatever. All right, keep kicking away. You know what I mean? You're kicking air. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing. But he
Yeah.
lets that get to him.
Yeah. So you don't even have anything. You don't even invite any hate or discontent, or your videos are all pretty neighborly. I mean, there's nothing,
But also
and
what
he,
he
on
said.
the other hand, is the total opposite, and people want to kill him. So really want to kill him. So
Yeah, but also what he said was he went through it too. So maybe there is something to be said about starting a channel. It's maybe this is part of the process, and Jasper just has to keep on clicking the block button. Now, obviously, he is asking for it. When you throw out other people's names in the world, you're asking for trouble. But Philly, would you say that starting a YouTube channel, everybody's going to get kind of what is happening to him?
It depends on what your channel is.
Mm,
When you come off, arrogant and all that, yeah. But is it different than other channels? Sure, because look at everybody's channels. We're showing the Philippines. We're enjoying life here. People are building houses. People are doing reviews. People
mm.
are doing all that. His channel is different, but
I've
it's
never
coming
seen
off
one like
in a
that.
negative way.
I've never seen one like his that's so distasteful. Really, seriously. And
Mm.
there are people who don't know what they're talking about, who are overly emotional and assume a lot of things, but not people, telling them off and insulting them and going off on people for no reason at all. I can't remember any channel I've ever seen like that, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen anybody even close to him?
I'm not really big.
Not really.
There you go. Yeah. And I watch a lot of YouTube. I would think, I would see him if there's some guy out there, going off like that. So, yeah.
What's up with the World Zoom thing? He just got exposed, and what's up? I'm coming in late on that. I apologize. What's the couple sentences on that?
Well, that guy's actually pretty polite. He's very polite. So, I mean, you could tell him, you screwed his mom, and he would just say, "Oh, thank you for your response." And then he, delete your comment. I mean, he's about as neighborly.
World Zoom. What happened was World Zoom came to the Philippines. Filipina P interviewed him. Old Dog New Tricks interviewed him. Mark Thornton interviewed him, and the stories were not like matching up. So people started doing an investigation into him, found out that he was brought up on charges of embezzlement, went to Thailand on a passport that he created because they pulled his original passport when he was charged, got a new passport, went to Thailand, got caught in Thailand, was extradited back to the United States, did 2 out of 10 years in a federal prison. And
he ratted or something like that.
And he
actually,
ratted.
he took his brother's passport. I discovered he actually took his brother's passport. He didn't get a new. He tried to apply for a new passport under his original name before he changed it years before, and they denied it. And he stole his brother's passport and used that.
Wow, what a loser! Trying to think that nobody would find out. Wow.
Well, he got away with that. The passport worked.
Mm.
The only reason he got caught is because he was living like an idiot, going, publicly, spending all kinds of money, buying all kinds of stuff, and he looked suspicious. And someone squealed on him. FBI was looking for him, and they put those. And Thailand's on our list of extraditable countries. Those notices go out all over to the world. Especially for a high-profile 10 most wanted list. Come on. So
was that a real 10 most wanted? Do you think that was a real 10? I don't think. I think that was fabricated. His crime does not like What do you say?
I've had,
Uh,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So
you're on the 10 most wanted. You know,
yeah.
come on. You got guys like, Obama, Saddam Hussein, all them other crazy guys that
Actually,
are
they've
on a
had
10
guys who are
most
guilty
wanted.
of white collar crimes. White collar crimes if they're high enough dollar. They don't just you don't just have to be Charles Manson, but
But to be on a 10 most wanted and only do 2 years,
Yeah.
I think that may have
well,
been a fabricated picture. I'm just saying, maybe it's true. I don't know.
well, he pled out. He
They,
returned a lot of the money. He returned a lot of the money. He made a deal. He paid off. He does say he paid off all the money he stole, but he's
Like
still paying
1.7,
monthly payment to the IRS. He still owes the IRS.
right?
He's paying monthly. He says that on his video. So he hit all the points. He made a deal, and that's why he only got 10 years. And honestly, in weighing crimes, embezzling $1.7 million from a hospital fund, though obviously reprehensible, isn't really up there for crime if you've never committed a crime. So pleading out for 10 years isn't all that unreasonable. He returned the money and most of it, so it's not all that unreasonable. Of course, you wish you got more time, but still.
You know what I wish? I wish it was 20 years ago and Mark Blankard of Overstay Road was in his prime. You guys ever catch his early videos? Philly, did you ever catch Mark Blankard's early videos, early live streams?
No, not really.
Oh, since he would go live and delete his stuff. He was wild, but still respectful. And then another guy, I don't know if you've seen him, you probably don't like him, is Escaping the Philippines.
Never seen it.
Escaping the Philippines.
Is that a current channel?
What was his name? Larry?
He's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy that calls the Filipinas big head.
Yeah. I remember him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's wild. Wild.
I did catch him back in the day, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's a shame that everybody's doing, including myself, is doing the drama stuff. Not you, Philly. You're awesome. You're actually given a platform to voice about it. I, as a USA guy that's never fully committed to living overseas, would like to learn more about how to actually pull the trigger and make it long term. Should I get married? Should I not get married? Shit like that.
Hell no. I'm against marriage, period. Yeah.
John, I say that's all up to you. You've done your research, you've done your investigation, you know what's going on. I always tell people, listen, if you're a single guy, and I've talked to quite a few of them here recently, they're, I don't know, late 50s, 60s. They're traveling around now. They're going here, they're going there. They're making, though, Angeles City their home base. They might go here for a few weeks and then they're finding where they want to be. Not necessarily now, but say in a few years from now. And I always say, enjoy that and do that. That's the best thing. Some people don't like the regular guy. All right. Scotty boy, and it's Beaveroonies. My thing is, I have nothing against the guy, but he's doing it. He's traveling where he wants to go. He's videoing it. Get out there and explore and see where you want to be. Because when you get somewhere,
I think he does. I don't think he's bad.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed some of his videos, actually. He's kind of strange. He talks like 90 miles a minute. He's never. One thing is you're never gonna have any silence. He just talks from beginning to end of his videos. It's like nonstop.
Yeah, he's good at editing too.
Sure. Everybody's a storyteller.
Yeah, I like
everybody's got a little. Everybody's got a little creep in him.
He engages the people, and he's just a bit odd in some ways, but I don't dislike him. I don't think his videos are bad.
It definitely takes a lot to come to the Philippines for your first year and stay a long time. Just the fact of not having meat and that iron and all the nutrients from the steak hits your body. There's so many other things that people could and should be talking about in all these videos. Of course, we can't as viewers decide what other people do as content. So you got to go out there yourself. But there's a lot of things that hit you in the face when you go out there, especially your first year. I found it hard to stay for more than a month or two, even though my goal is to live there forever. I want a compound, but mentally it takes a toll on you, for your first season, for sure.
The first time I was there, I was 17, and I was like, "What the hell is this place?" Jeez,
but you were crazy, 17, having a good time.
I was crazy and drunk. I had to hide from the military. It was Marcos, is martial law, and I got caught after curfew in a hooker's place, and I was hiding, and she threw me out because I didn't have enough money to pay her. I thought I did, and she threw me out, and I was hiding in an alley in my underwear, hiding from the police, and I had to walk back onto the base over the bridge. Half dressed, and they're like, "What the hell happened to you?" Well, it's a long story. I got 10 days extra for that. But, it was quite a culture shock. So now I'm going there, and the only difference now, I think, from 40 some years ago, technology, internet, the place pretty much looks the same, except for maybe some high rises. Pretty much, not a lot has changed, really, honestly, as far as the people and the way things work. They really haven't done a lot of improvements in processes and infrastructure in the last 40 years, not noticeable ones anyway, except, maybe if you're in, BGC or something, but
Neanderthal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For that trust.
Hey,
fun money. Yes. Neanderthal is the real deal, guys. People were questioning him and his intent and what he's the real deal. And he said he's not biased. He's not a biased person. That's good. Sometimes you have to, I don't know, what are people's sticks? Like, what are their intentions? But Kuya John, you're right. If you spend a lot of time in here, in the Philippines, there's a lot of things you have to learn to adjust to. We're not going to change that. The slow pace, the banking, the lines, the malls, the people, it's a slow pace. You have to learn to adapt to that because we're so used to everything being so quick. In the States, you go into the bank, you're in and out. Here, you go in the bank, you might be in there for an hour.
I don't even go to the bank. I do it all online.
I've just gotten to the point where if I walk in the bank and it's full, I really don't need to be in the bank right now. Do I have anywhere else better to go? No, but I'm impatient. I just sit there like, nah. But it is tough. And then, like you said, your diet, what you're used to back in the States, when you come here, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find depending on where you live. But yes, there is a big adjustment. Mature family. There you go. You're on now, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate it. Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, y'all are talking about the Philippines. I've already been there probably twice this year. And the adjustment, it takes a while, but I'm more from Taytay, Rizal.
Taytay, Rizal? What?
Yeah, off of the east side of Manila, about 45 minutes down towards Antipolo.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you're closer to all the good food and shit. So I was a dumbass and I picked Mindanao. And the first time I went home, they took me aside like, "Why the hell were you in Mindanao? What were you doing? Who were you with?" And it's much different. Luzon and Mindanao. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much experience there. But what was your overall experience, sir?
Well, my wife, I've been married for 37 years to a Filipino, and she's originally from Marikina. So we didn't really want to be right in Marikina because, like they say, you don't want to live close to family because you live close to family, they're always over at your house. So we moved at least an hour away from them. And so, but we're more up in the mountain, higher area. The temperature's a little bit cooler. It's not too far to get to Manila. And the best part about it is I'm in a gated community, and we bought a house there about a year ago. And I can pretty well walk to the SM Mall and Taytay and all the other areas that are around there.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. I always said, I'm looking to get out of Angeles City. I've said that. I'm here because Hannah Grace hasn't scored last year, and I'm looking for somewhere to go too. There's only a few things that I've always said I needed. All right. I need internet. Now with Starlink, internet can be anywhere in the Philippines. And I need air conditioning. All right. Food is food. All right. Can you do without a Philadelphia cheesesteak? Yeah. Food
Yeah,
is
but have
food.
you checked the price on Starlink?
Right
No.
now, they're running a deal for like, I think it's 1999,
A month?
19,999
Oh,
for the equipment. And then it's 2.7 per month. That's the deal they're running right now in the
So
Philippines.
what, 400 US dollars and 30 bucks a month?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
pretty cheap. Is it
Yeah.
really dependable throughout? I mean, what kind of download speed do you get? Upload and
I've
download.
watched guys that have did videos on it and everything, and they're getting great download and upload speeds. However, they're saying if you've got fiber optic right now, which we do, don't switch over. Keep that fiber optic. That's the only reason I'm keeping what I have. Plus, right now I'm paying 2.5, and I got
Isn't
decent internet.
isn't Starlink affected by the weather though? Just like
It can be.
satellite television?
It can be. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I lived in Florida, I lived in a place I had a satellite TV. And man, when the storms came, you could forget it. TV was gone. I mean, it happened a lot in Florida, where I lived in Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach. So yeah, that's the only thing with Starlink because you still got the weather I believe can cut it out. One of the reasons I'm going to Davao City is they have an excellent history of a dependable internet and electricity. They have very few problems over there. Like Dumaguete, I think holds the record, doesn't it, for brownouts and internet loss, if I'm not mistaken. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that can be anywhere.
I'm glad you brought up Davao and Samal right there. I'm sure you know the island off the coast there. Because I was going to say, the guy that just talked earlier with his the gated community, I would love to enjoy that. But as a new person coming out there, you go into some pretty dangerous places real fast and you don't realize it. So, for example, my first season, I went to Davao and I went to Samal, and everybody was like, "Why are you going to Samal? Have you?" In Samal, I guess in the 70s, since over 70,000 kidnappings since 1970.
is that all? Fuck, 70,000. Jeez. Totally anything. They all deserve.
Or it was up to 1970. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It was something about in the 70s. But there was a high crime, high amount of kidnappings. And I'm sitting there as my first trip, not knowing what I'm doing. And everybody I'm talking to is saying, "Why are you out there?" Realistically, at the end of the day, after many times being out there, I'm sure you can attest it's safe. It's fun going to. But there's a strong history of it not being a lovely place. People have to be aware of that stuff when they go out there. You know?
And if I'm not mistaken, John, I think doesn't the United States government are basically saying don't go to Mindanao. They're telling people don't go there. However, if you go there, you're on your own. If something happens, don't expect the Navy SEALs to come in and drag you out.
That just references really the western and northwestern part where all those crazy revolutionaries are.
See, now I lived down there. I lived down there in my wife's province for 6 months.
Yeah.
Never had a problem. There were a lot of NPA. Matter of fact, when my wife's father passed away, we had the funeral. A lot of guys were showing up, and I'm looking and like they got guns and stuff in their pocket, tucked in their back. And I asked her, "Am I safe?" And she said, "Yeah, you're safe." Here to find out, a lot of them were NPA. But their issue's not with me. Their issue is with the government. They don't care about me. But I'd like to live in Denver. It was beautiful, but there was nothing there. Like I think a Dunkin' Donuts was the biggest place, and then you had to travel to San Francisco.
Oh, really? Agusan del Norte?
Yeah.
Or del Sur? Agusan del Sur?
Yeah. There's where you had to travel to get like your malls and your other stuff. It was like an hour and a half ride. But yeah, I liked it down there. Just nothing there.
Yeah, it's hard to take advice from Jasper. He's been there for 6 months. And next thing you know, he's going to end up sending you in the wrong spot. But luckily for me, yeah, that whole eastern side of Mindanao is safe. There's checkpoints, and I had no
Right.
problems. In regards to the NPA, I heard and researched. I'm not sure. I'm not a pro, but they do go after not civilians, more government stuff, and then also if you are a foreigner making money off of some specific businesses, they'll go after you,
Sure.
like
Sure.
specifically the gold mining.
Ah,
Right.
money.
But the average guy like me and you there,
Yeah.
they don't they could care less about us.
Well,
However, when
Davao
I know
City,
when they did roll in, because they travel a lot, NPA, and we've always called a non-permanent address. They do travel a lot. When they do come into some smaller barangays are feeding them. I don't know what for, maybe protection or intimidation. But yeah, the average guy like you and I, they could care less.
Well,
What are
we're
they
in,
going to get? Capture me and what? Make them do a YouTube video for them? What, you know
yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
it's NPA, National People's Army. They don't, from what I saw, is they don't go after civilians or their own people. They go after the government and the city officials and shit like that. And but yeah, I felt very safe. I felt very loved from the families and the communities that I met and stuff. So I had a really great time, which made it so I kept coming back. I've never tried Thailand. I feel like it's played out and too many tourists there. I like Mindanao because there's only a Dunkin' Donuts there. I like that.
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to Davao. I mean, they've got a lot of security there, more police.
Yeah.
Also, they actually enforce a lot of the traffic laws there. Driving there, I looked at the statistics.
Yeah.
It's like some of the best in the Philippines as far as driving safety. It's still dangerous as hell. There's still maniacs swerving all over the place, but it's not as bad as other places. They actually have a lot of street lights there too.
Yeah, Davao's awesome, very clean, a lot of laws. Cannot smoke cigarettes in public. They got a little cage for you to smoke cigarettes in.
The only real recent history, I think this was 10 or 15 years ago, they had that terrorist bombing at the night market. I think that was like 10 or 15 years ago, the terrorist bombing at the night market killed somebody. But since then, there's police everywhere. Jeez.
Well, everything calmed down because the Muslims got what they wanted with the autonomous region in the southwest.
Yeah. So it's safe. I'm not going to drive. I have no. I'll just take taxis everywhere. I don't.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't Davao City like considered one of the safest cities in the Philippines?
Yeah.
You know, the Duterte came out of there. His daughter came out of there.
Also, one of the least polluted. Actually, one of the least polluted.
Okay.
They've got low pollution. Places like like Manila. That's like smoking a cigarette.
Careful. I can attest going swimming off the coast of Davao. I still agree with you. It is clean, but I did open my eyes in the water, and I think I got fecal matter in there. I got all sick. I was actually stuck on my 24-hour layover in Hong Kong. I had to go to the hospital. Nobody knew English. Got excellent care. Even though nobody knew English, still got excellent care. Made it back.
Yeah.
So you're
got to be careful. Got to be careful.
When you get that fecal matter in your eyes.
Yep. Well, after I did the water underneath, I thought it was cool because me thinking that it was clean, you'd automatically assume it was clean. As soon as I stopped and got out of the water, I looked. There was a film on the top, and I looked across the bay, and all the kids are swimming naked, and there's a big tube with all the sewage going right in there. So I made a mistake there for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes made in the Philippines.
Got to pick your spot.
I always say the Filipino people and the kids have probably the best immune systems in the world.
Mm.
Oh, hell.
They grow up swimming in, the rivers and stuff. Like where my wife is, there's a river that runs down into the ocean. People are coming down. I've never seen them dump fecal matter in there, but they're bathing in there. They're washing dishes in there. The kids are playing in there. So you don't know what the kids are doing, but their immune systems here, I say, probably the best in the world. We're close to the best.
When I was in the Navy, there was a river. We call it the Shit River.
Yeah.
And the bridge from Olongapo went over the bridge, and then you got to Subic. That river there was God, it was like an
It's still
unflushed
there.
toilet. And they were kids. They were in their little pontoons, and they would and this was like 20 feet up, I guess it was. And we used to wing pesos at it. And they would catch them or dive in to get them in that water. And that water was, I mean, if you or I dove into that, we'd probably be dead in an hour. That stuff was like, God, like diarrhea.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. You'd smell. You didn't even want to stand there. And these kids were just in there, having a good time. And those pesos, those things were huge. The old pesos, they were bigger than silver dollars. When you wing one of those, man, you could really hurt somebody. They caught them like professional baseball players.
Yeah, but it's like Brian said, they're all immune to that water. They're immune to living in that standards. Someone like us go there. Like I went to Subic. You know, when I went to Subic, I could see the sewer running from the hotels out into the bay, and people were swimming in it, but I didn't even want to walk in it. So.
Yeah, that's true. I don't ever catch flus or the cold because when I was in the Navy, I caught the Russian flu. I was on the Enterprise and about 3,000 guys got it. And I was out for like a week. I don't even remember what happened, but I lost like 10 pounds. I almost died. And several guys did. I went through the whole ship and about half the crew got it. There was about 7,000 people on the ship at that time. And I survived. And the doctor told me, you know what's good about this, Clinton? I go, what? He goes, you probably won't have a lot of flus and cold because this will give you a lot of immunity. And it's been true. I can't remember the last time I had a cold or the flu, honestly. So you can get immune, obviously. As long as you don't
like you're saying that. I went over there in 88. And when I first started drinking the water and stuff, even after boiling it, I got so sick. But now the trips that I'm over back and forth, your body builds up the tolerance and the immunity. And I don't feel that I get sick at all. Now, of course, if you drink water that's not filtered or that just comes straight out of the tap, then you're going to get sick. But we wash our dishes, we wash stuff, with it, and you're still getting that water transfer right back into your mouth, and I'm immune to it.
I'll just get a nice filter, and that way, drink right out of the tap, get a nice filter, you're fine.
Yeah, I buy the filtered water jugs. But do I brush my teeth? I brush my teeth with just regular,
correct
faucet water, and I've never gotten sick from any of that. But I won't drink it out of the tap unless it would be like a big challenge or something.
Yeah, I drank the water in Tijuana.
I'd have my Denny doctor over here.
I drank the water in Tijuana once when I was in San Diego, and when I was in the Navy at the time, and I went into Tijuana, and I drank water, didn't even think about it, and I really regretted that because man, I was for like 3 or 4 days. Geez, I had to sit on the toilet. It was terrible. Yeah, maybe that gave me some immunity to Philippine water. Maybe that was a long time ago. Probably not. Hello.
Yeah. And I don't want to bash Subic Bay because I like going there to get away for a while, but I won't swim in the ocean there. I swam in there years ago and my body was itching for a couple days and I blamed it on the water. Subic Bay though, that Barrio Barreto, what is that? Beloy Beach, it's cleaned up. Now, what's being dumped in there now, I don't know. But as far as the beach and everything from years ago, it has definitely improved. Matter of fact, that's where we went and got our certification with Subic Bay. But to actually swim in it, I just stay out of it. Don't swim in the septic bay. Because you figure everything that comes in there comes into Beloy Beach there. And that's like, I call it like the butthole. That's where everything washes into that point there. And there's, I don't know, is there 5 rivers that dump into the bay? So you don't know what's in there. But that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one of those emergency straws, those prepper straws that you can drink right out of the gutter. I actually tried it. They actually work. They're like $20. What the hell are they called? There's a name for them. There's a couple of them they make them.
Yeah, you
But,
get them from Amazon.
Yeah, those actually work. I actually tried drinking gutter water. Just leaned into the gutter and
Neanderthal. I know you're listening.
it worked
You're,
fine.
you're wasting your time, Neanderthal.
Huh?
Who's Neanderthal? Oh, why is he wasting his time?
Well, I know he's
What's he
just sitting
doing?
there. I know he's just sitting there listening to us.
Oh,
Who
he
is
can
this
listen all he
Neanderthal?
wants. Like I said,
Who is
he's
this Neanderthal?
to me, and he's come off as not being non-biased.
Who's
He can
who
come
is
in this room, he can go in that room. But I don't know if he's here. He was here. Neanderthal,
who-
if you're here,
Come on.
He's
Who is
out
this
there
guy?
listening, I'm pretty sure.
Tell me who this Neanderthal guy is. I don't know him. What-
He's Jasper's supporter that
Oh.
donates a lot of money. That also comes to Philly's channel and donated money last channel upwards to $100 because he's a very nice guy.
So he's
And he's also not disrespectful. He's not a disrespectful guy.
Aha. Okay. Well, then I guess if he supports Jasper, I have to automatically dislike him.
But he is a troll, though. He's definitely a troll.
I'll have to automatically hate him and wish he was
here.
not alive.
Let's bring up, is this GD Mead? Let's bring up GD. This will be good. GD. Go ahead, GD Mead.
G'day,
Looks like
Brian.
he's-
How you going, mate?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, I like that hat.
Yeah, I'm down under, mate. This is a genuine Australian at Cooper. It's kind of like my trademark on my own channel. I don't know. I wear it all the time.
Fedora.
Do you have
I
any-
don't think that's Fedora.
Wouldn't
Do you have
that
any
be
new
called-
ideas? Do you have any new videos you're working on, sir?
Yeah, I've actually got one uploading at the moment.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to check you out. I've never been to Australia. I want to go down under.
I was in Tasmania in 1976, which is kind of like Australia.
Have a gold finger on this bad boy. They say have a gold finger on you, GD Mead. Why do they say that? I really don't. I mean, I know, and I've seen a few of your videos in the past, but I don't really follow you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I've been watching you for yonks ever since you first moved up to Angeles and opened the store. I really liked those videos. They were really good. It was just a shame that didn't work out.
Well, we chose to close it down with all the hours you put in,
Not much money.
little bit of pesos you actually make, and the time. It was just, it's just too much.
Smart
I always
business
said
decision.
if you're a Filipino and you're a Filipino family and you're running a store because you rely on those few pesos to make it. And you have probably 10 other hustles going on alongside that store to make it. But the average person like me, and don't get me wrong, I think there are expats. Matter of fact, I know of an expat that did have a store and they did okay. But you're competing with everybody in the area. The amount of time you put in, it's just not worth it. It just wasn't worth it to us.
Yeah.
So what do you do on your channel? What do you do on your channel, GD?
It's a very controversial one. I wouldn't recommend you going there unless you've got a big pair.
I'm interested.
There's a couple of really nasty, low-life, scamming scumbags living in the Philippines, ripping off the internet community to get a free ride in the Philippines because they're too lazy to work for themselves. And I attack the shit out of them because.
Care to name them now? Because I'd like to know who they are.
Wait. This is.
Well,
this,
no, I didn't. I just came on to say hello to Brian. I didn't come on to promote my channel or anything like that. That'd be a bit rude of me. Brian's got his own channel. I just came on to say hi, Brian. And I saw you with the Navy cap. I'm an ex-Air Force brat. I've never worn the uniform myself. I've never had the honor of being a member of the armed forces, but my parents were both Air Force officers. I was actually born on an Air Force base in New Zealand. I only live in Australia. I've been here 43 years. But I'm originally a Kiwi, and the one thing I like about Philly's channel is he's got, decent viewers. He's not one of these Filipino vloggers that goes into the scum side of it. And there's too many of them, in my opinion. Like there's decent people like yourselves, but there's too many vloggers go to the Philippines and all they promote is prostitutes and sleazy bars. And I just hate that. I just hate it.
What are your thoughts on that
I'm
World
back.
Zoom? That's what our topic is about. So you can if you know anything about him, or what's your thought on him?
Hang on the what, Brian? On the which?
World Zoom, the YouTuber World Zoom that got caught embezzling money, came to the Philippines. He was on the Filipino Peace Channel. Old Dog. Who's the other one? Mark Thornton. Then he got caught out. Are you familiar with him?
Actually, I'm not, but I'm familiar with a number of people who are doing the same thing. There are quite a few. Unfortunately, a lot of them are Australian. An Australian just got caught about 2 months ago. Very, very nasty human trafficking with underage girls, all that sort of stuff. Personally, put them up against a wall and shoot them.
I saw that about that on the channel. Yeah. He's going to jail for a long time.
Yeah, I've just got no time for that. My asawa, I'll just give you a background. I've been married to my Filipino asawa for 35 years. Coming up January 7 next year is our 35th wedding anniversary. And we own property in Cebu. I've just come back from Cebu. I was there for a little over a month. And unfortunately, I spent most of that time in Chonghua Hospital in Cebu with viral pneumonia. So that was a real... I had to go over there to do certain things, and I spent the time in the hospital. So now I'm going back in November to do what I was supposed to do in May and June. So, yeah, but no, those people that go to the Philippines with those sort of motives, personally, hang them up by their nuts and shoot the bastards.
True.
Well, you've got all kind that go to the Philippines. They go to the
I got no time for it.
All kinds of different reasons.
Oh, yeah, look, they do. Here's one of the biggest scammers of all time, one of the biggest suckholes from another channel. Where is he? Where is he? This guy is a loser truck driver in America. He's a lonely, sad old man.
Who are you talking about?
One of these criminal grifters, Richard Lawes or Laos, whatever he wants to call himself. He's just he's a no-hoping loser. But I've got the background on that guy. I've got photographs of him. I've got a whole history of that guy. And he's a sad, lost, lonely, twisted man that sends money to a married woman, hoping that he can hook up a relationship with her,
Right.
Philippines and beyond. Oh, well, thank you very much. See, and the other thing, Philly, me coming on, Brian, me coming on, you'll probably, now you cop that idiot Ricky. I mean, that guy is a sick, twisted mother. He's
Rike, you mean? Rike?
No, not Rike.
Oh.
Not Rike. Rike's a whole different ballgame. But now Philly had a live stream and he invited this other fool on. He's been done for assault in Bahia. He spent 4 days in jail. That's still going on. He's a ladyboy guy. He's a real twisted sort of character. He's another one. He should be thrown out of the Philippines like that. He's just an animal.
Which guy are you talking? That Ricky Drama or Sick Grandpa or whatever he goes by? Yeah, he's sent a video or two on me. I don't, whatever. But
Oh, look,
if he's in here, he is more than welcome to hop on the panel too and talk. He's more than welcome. We have an open invitation.
I don't think nobody ever accepts those invitations, though. Have you noticed that? Nobody ever accepts those invitations. So
no.
Well, I do a number of live streams. I had one last week, and I threw it open to anybody who wanted to come in to ask questions, to find out what's going on, blah, 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 blah. They're all great behind their keyboards from grandma's basement, but face-to-face, when I was in the Philippines, they all told me they were going to come, they were going to deal to me, they were going to do this, they were going to do that, they were going to do the other. For 6 days, I was absolutely, I was as weak as a cat with viral pneumonia in a hospital in Cebu. Everybody knew where I was. Not one of them turned up, but on their keyboard, the minute I left the Philippines and came back to Australia, oh, we're going to do this, I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to tear him to, like big, brave keyboard warriors.
Right.
That's all they are.
All right.
All they are.
Broke ass
Oh,
midget. Welcome, broke ass midget.
No, this guy is
Hey, man, Brian, let me tell you about this guy. Is it legal to carry a pistol on a foreigner in the Philippines? No. He shows himself on the video carrying a 45 in the Philippines. Supposedly, if it wasn't a toy plastic gun, he says all Filipino government employees are lazy, ignorant bastards. He cusses Filipinas every way he can. And Brian, did you know it's legal to have sex with a 13-year-old in the Philippines according to the law? So GD says.
No, that's wrong. Hey,
GD.
I had to mute you.
GD, let's see the receipts on your attorneys, 5,000 apiece, who didn't do nothing, went and hiding with your money. Come on. Talk crap.
DD, I wanted.
I'm so confused
I'm a
right now.
keyboard warrior. I'm on you, boy. You ain't nothing but a scumbag.
Philly, mute both of them. I'm so confused.
No. Let's hear what I want to hear what GD has to say. I don't want people yelling over people. So broke ass midget. Let's let GD say what he has to say.
I'm named. Everybody knows my contact details, my address. I've done tour videos of my house and everything else, which they've. Look at this. There you go. There's the difference between me and this inbred hick. Because that's all he is.
What the hell?
Look at him. Look at him.
Is that video from a prison cell?
I'll prove my point, guys. Just listen to what he's got to say, and listen to the. This is what I got to put up with. So go ahead, inbred. Go ahead. Spew your rubbish.
Okay, man, you make videos. You saying you walk around Cebu carrying 45s? Is that legal? You say it's legal?
Oops, sorry.
Is that legal?
What?
Go ahead. You're both on. Just don't scream over top of each other. Let one talk. Debate this. We need to debate this.
He told me to talk, and I'm talking. Now, is it legal to carry a 45 in the Philippines for a foreigner? You got video of yourself doing that said thing. You said it on multiple live streams. You said it's legal to pump a 13, 14-year-old. Is that legal?
Whoa, don't talk like that.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Did he say
Watch
that?
his videos, Brian.
I don't watch TD.
Yeah, whatever you say, whatever I say on my videos, Brian, what happens is just like yours, just like what Ricky did to you. They hear something and then say another thing. They twist everything for a drama narrative. And this is what this fool is good at.
Watch his videos. See if I'm lying.
Did you say that or no? Did you say it? Did you say it?
Did you say that though, JD? Did you say that it was okay to be with young girls?
No, what happened, I'll tell you the thing, Brian. So a friend of one of these scammers had a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, but we don't know. It was only a rumor. And eventually the guy that accused him of having this sexual relationship with his 15-year-old girl ended up paying him 5.2 million pesos in compensation after he sued him for defamation. So a Filipino court said that the guy is innocent. But what happened is this friend of this American scammer who I'm targeting got dumped. He had his own YouTube channel and he got dumped. So what happened is everybody shat on this bloke on a rumor, which, as I say, later got proved to be untrue because a court of law deemed that the rumor was false and awarded him 5.2 million pesos in compensation. The guy that came out with the rumor, a bloke by the name of Philip Ahern, has now had to run from the Philippines and leave his family and can't come back to the Philippines because he's now wanted for similar sort of crimes that he accused this bloke of. So I made a video, Brian, and I said, listen, folks, This guy's in the Philippines. Now, at the time, the age of consent in the Philippines was 12. Duterte changed it in 2018. But at the time, when he was supposedly, allegedly having this affair with this 15-year-old girl, and by the way, he was married with a child at the time, but it was supposed defamation, and it was proved to be false. What happened? I made a video because this guy was getting terrorized and vilified and crucified by everybody around the world. And I made a video saying, ladies and gentlemen, I actually know in the Philippines, and I do. Last time I was there, I made a video of this young girl on the street who was 15 with a 2-year-old baby. So 13-year-old girls in the Philippines do have babies. They do have children at that age. And I know a number of women in my barangay and in provinces that I've spent years in who get married at a very young age. Now, I said, if Philip Rizzuto did have a relationship...
This is my...
I remember that, Philip. I remember that, Philip Rizzuto.
Under the law of the Philippines, it's not illegal. It might be back if you go back home, they can do you. But here's the thing.
That only applies, though.
I disagree with this.
Brian,
I don't own it.
Let me educate you real quick on GD. Go to a channel, Stacy Dixon, and hear what JD says straight out of his mouth about Filipinos, pistols, juveniles. Hear it straight out of GD's mouth. And then don't never let me on if I'm lying.
Heck, odds don't lie.
What year? What year of his videos? Recent videos or old videos?
No, GD hadn't had a channel over 4 years. They changed the law in 18.
Excuse
to
me.
16-year-old.
2021. If that's 4 years, it just goes to show you I'm right. And then Brad Hick.
Yeah, are you listening to him? Did you listen to what he said?
I don't care what he says. He's an idiot.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking to the Australian guy.
Control the situation. He talks over everybody. He wants to be in control, or he's like a little kid and takes his toys and goes through his sandbox. That's why everybody's blocked on his channel. They call bullshit on him.
Okay, hold on. Let me just finish it.
The bottom line is, in the Philippines, I don't care. As a foreigner, it is illegal for you to marry and be with someone under 18.
Yeah,
Does that
it
apply?
is. I totally agree with that.
If you're a Filipino, it's different. It's different. But as a foreigner, it is against the law. Period.
It is. I totally agree with you. That's the law. No argument, Brian. No argument. But he'll argue about it.
It's against the law to be with anybody under 18 years old in the Philippines without the relative or the parents present. Period.
Well, you're actually totally 100% wrong. I regularly take my nieces, nephews, and cousins out on shopping trips to Gaisano and Ayala, and I have a piece of my pocket signed by the mother or the grandmother or the guardian saying that on that day, this minor is in my company with my asawa and maybe my daughter or my son while we're there and is going shopping with us. They don't have to be present. You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're the international lawyer. That's right.
Yeah. So when was the last time you were in the Philippines in the company of a minor? Tell us. Give us the views of your wonderful extended experience.
Well, I live here, cowboy. I live here.
I'm going to go. I about have my fill of this crap. So I'll see you next time, Billy. See you next time.
Thanks for your service,
Navy. Thanks for your Navy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I have to interject here. The hillbilly guy with the glasses that's drinking. Listen, he just said that he made videos earlier than the law changed, and he does not condone anything underage. He doesn't condone anything like bad. Dude, he's a fucking Australian guy with a hat. Give him a fucking break. He blocked you. So he doesn't want you on his channel, so leave him alone. But
Watch Stacy Dixon and hear it from his very own mouth.
Hold on. Are you talking about
videos, man?
Not recent. You said not recent, right? You said the old videos, right?
Was his lips moving?
Sir,
lying.
You want me to watch Stacy Dixon? You want me to research Stacy Dixon right now? But are you referring to old videos?
Hit it in YouTube.
Old
It's
videos?
short videos, and it's all GD speaking in his own voice, telling the legalizations of the Philippines and how bad Filipinos are and government workers in the PI. Go
All right,
ahead.
what's
I'm not
your
ashamed.
response to that? What's your response to that?
Jay, he's absolutely right. I took Adelino Sitoy to the Ombudsman of the Visayas on Friday, August 20, 2016 for corruption.
Did
And
you win?
he guilty. And his daughter, Cho Sitoy, from Court of a Municipal Hall, was sitting there at the time that he and his employee admitted falsely taking documents from Court of a Municipal Hall to use to sell land from my family, 12 million pesos worth. They forged tax declarations to then go out and sell the land that belonged to my family to the value of 12 million pesos. And they admitted it under examination in the Ombudsman's office on that Friday afternoon.
How old are you? How old are you?
Pull
Me?
up the receipts. Let's see the receipts, GD.
How old are you, Judy?
I'm 65. I turned
65.
65.
That's the time of retirement. That's the time of retirement age. I think you've had enough, man. This hillbilly guy. I'm not defending either one of you guys, but you're ruining the stream right now. We're trying to talk about cool shit about the Philippines. Honestly,
Exactly.
You're not
Well,
doing GD. You're not doing good at defending yourself right now. You should have said no right away. You're not doing good at defending yourself. This hillbilly guy, you're ruining Philly's stream talking shit. I want to talk about cool stuff. Everybody knows it's bad. If this guy said something disgusting, screw him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah.
Well,
I hope
bring
Philly
people
got
on
rid
to
of him.
voice their opinions, and I knew GD Mead, and he's done some controversial videos. I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch them. I don't get involved with people complaining about the Philippines and and this person and that person. Bottom line is, when it comes to being with Filipinas here, women, as a foreigner, they have to be 18. There is no line there. You can be arrested for being with someone under 18. That's just how it is.
You're exactly right, Brian. They have to be 18, but there's also some traditions that you still have to get the parents' permission all the way up to 25 before they
That's
can
true
really
also.
marry.
True.
Yeah, it's fair to say anybody that's even talking about stuff like that is creepy, and I wouldn't want to even associate with that type of shit. Actually, one of the foreigners that I ran into, I think I said the story last time, I had a great experience finally running into a foreigner, and then next thing you know, he's talking about a bunch of creepy, nasty stuff. Like, there's always going to be weird people out there,
Sure.
But yeah, I don't think the Philippines is a great place to hide your weirdness. I think, it's a great statistic to talk about too. Filipinos are the number one users of social media and the internet pretty much. They're always on social media. So, people think going to the Philippines, you can get away and hide and all that stuff. You can't go down the road without somebody seeing you.
Right.
No, 'cause if you
Philly-
notice over the last few years, the Philippines has started to strengthen their laws, and they're coming up to more standards of the U.S. and other countries. But to get back and get off of that subject anyway, I'm going to be there in October. I'm going to stay for about 4 months. Like I said, I've been married for 37 years, so I'm not really interested in looking for this Filipino girls, these things like that. I'm looking at retiring, settling down, having a better life, enjoying my retirement, being able to my money go longer. I can travel. I can see some of them 7,000 islands that are out there. I can jump, to other countries and stuff like that and enjoy the life.
Yeah. What state are you at in USA?
Well, right now I'm in North Carolina. I just came
nice.
I'm in North Carolina, and I just retired from the Marine Corps. civil service in November.
Oh, thanks for your service.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Jerry, Philippines and beyond. What do you have to say?
Hey, Philly, how you doing? Can you guys hear me?
We hear
Yes,
you,
we
Jerry.
hear you.
Hey, the Philippines is a great place to live, man. I mean, I'm going on 4 years here. I love it. There's a lot to do, especially if you're into diving. But it's a great place to live as long as you just forget about all the shit from your first world country that you came from. Just forget about all that, and you can have a great life here, man. No stress. Whether you're retired or you're working online or whatever. I think it's a great place. You just got to find the right island that fits your needs, and you can be very happy here, actually.
Which one do you recommend?
Now,
You know
Jerry's
what?
been here for a while. Do you think people
Yeah.
bring stress upon themselves? We leave America to get rid of that stress, get rid of that news constantly in your face, dividing America. What other way? And you come here to get rid of all that. And I think
Yep.
people come here sometimes and bring stress upon themselves with that mentality that they have from the States or wherever they come from.
Yeah, I think, again, from my experience, from some of the people I meet, not all, some of the people I meet that come here, whether they're coming here from Europe or the US or whatever, they expect it to be the same as their home country, and it can't be. And that's
Right.
not really what you should be looking for anyway. I'm looking for a different lifestyle, not a lifestyle from a first world country, because if that's what I was looking for, I would just stay there. I mean, I would just stay in my home country, you know? So you got to change your life a little bit. It doesn't have to be like, 90-degree change or anything like that. I mean, some people goes, well, I can't do without a steak. Well, so I eat less steaks. I eat more chicken. Big deal. It's not a big
Right,
deal.
right.
I have a steak every day or whatever. So you got to kind of adjust. To me, it's not a big adjustment, but to others, it may be. It just depends, how much exposure you had to other countries. For me, I had most of my exposure when I was younger. After college, you grab a backpack, you roam around Europe, that kind of bullshit. So it wasn't a big change for me, but I think my wife made a huge difference when we actually moved here full time. She handles a lot of stuff that I didn't need to handle. I didn't need to learn. Again, so it worked out for me. I think, though, my advice to anybody, your Filipino will make you or break you.
Oh, I agree.
If you can disagree, again, this is just my opinion. You can disagree with whatever you want. It's just my opinion from my experience.
I agree 100%. You got to listen to your Filipino. They know the culture. They know what you should do, how you should act, what you should say. Little yell at me. She'll yell at me like, don't say that. Don't say that. And I've learned over the years of being here, yeah, sometimes you might not agree with it. And you might observe things and you're like, wow, this is just crazy. But you just got to keep your mouth shut. You're not going to change anything. But single guys coming here, I think it's a little harder on them because they don't have a girlfriend or a wife to kind of guide them on the things they should do or shouldn't do.
Right, but one thing I would also mention, again, this is my opinion, it makes a difference what kind of Filipino you hook up with.
Sure.
If you're going to hook up with a province girl, which is nothing wrong, she's probably not going to be able to help you very much, especially if she's extremely young. Because when you have to go to a government office or something that your Filipino has to do for you, that girl's going to be intimidated by government employees. She's just not going to be able to do it. So if you pick somebody, I would strongly suggest get somebody with some education. Nothing wrong with the age gap. I don't have a problem with that, but just get somebody with some education and somebody that's a little bit streetwise as well. I think you'll be able to get a lot further with that type of girl. That's just my opinion.
You're exactly right. My wife helps me out a lot when we're there. She's the one that says, hey, slow down your talking, be patient. Don't worry about how long it takes to get somewhere or do something. And everywhere I walk, I'm like, hey, good morning, good morning. You talk to a Filipino, and you see the smile, the expression on their face change, and then Next thing you know, you're in a conversation.
Yeah.
Another thing too is my wife, she'll stick up for herself. She'll stick up for things. A lot of Filipinos, and I think it's just the way it is, they just they won't say anything. Like we've gone to a hospital to pick up some documents, and she walked up and they're like, "Here, take a number and have a seat." These were for simple documents that they had in the back. And after a while, she just stood up and like, "Hey, listen, we're here for simple documents. It's not rocket scientists." She didn't have to, but she gave the girl a little bit of money to pay for her lunch, and within 5 minutes, they had it. So a lot of times you gotta, Filipinos will just accept things. Where my wife has gotten to the point where if it's something simple, we're not asking you to do anything hard, just do your job. But a lot of
Right.
them they'll just sit back and all right. And then 5 hours later, which should have been done 10 minutes when you walked in the door, you finally get it. But that's just something you got to deal with too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
don't.
Who you, John? You still here?
Yeah, I'm over here cooking some hot dogs. I know you guys said something about the steak, but you're forgetting how spoiled we are over here with all this
Sure.
food. And you go over there and you can't find the steak. You can't get the right hot dogs. I'm over here cooking some dogs, thinking about how shitty Jasper is.
Hey, John, you're just gonna have to break some bad habits you picked up in the West, man. You know what I mean? You're just gonna have to, man. If
I'm
you're gonna
thinking of-
live here, if you're gonna be happy here, dude, you got to break some of them bad habits. And I hate to call them bad habits, but when you're here, I mean, I shouldn't use the word bad habits. No, we don't have bad habits in the West, but certain habits you have that you're accustomed to in the West, you're gonna have to break some of them bad habits. I don't want to call it bad habits. I don't know. I'll have to find another word for it.
Yeah, I think I might spend like $600 just on a box of Mountain Dews shipping it out there.
We have Mountain Dew. We do have Mountain Dew.
It's not the same.
No, it's not. It's not. Just the name.
But no,
Yeah.
you are right. You are right. It's just I'm a picky eater as it is. If somebody is out there thinking about going to the Philippines, you can still survive. There's McDonald's here.
Right. See, that's the thing, John. You just kind of learn you got to be open minded. All right. I had a friend of mine years ago. I would always turn my nose on different foods, like, ew, no, gross. Sushi, no, gross. And he goes, you don't know if you like it until you try it. You got to keep that open mind here. Give things a try. You don't know. I've tried every street food there is. I don't know if I like it until I try it. Some of it's good. Some of it I won't eat again. But you got to keep that open mind.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And after being here, I don't know, a year, I'd say a year, those cravings for like that Philadelphia cheesesteak and all those sweet items that you've had for years and years, it just kind of goes away. You know, it's still there once in a while, but it just kind of fades away.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Your significant other will tell you which street food to eat and which not to eat. Should they know which is good or which is going to get sick? They know.
Redneck and Panay, how you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Good, good. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm down here. Well, Oklahoma originally, but I'm down here in Surigao del Sur.
All right.
On Mindanao.
Yeah. We were just talking about Mindanao. Are you any problems down there? Are you enjoying it? What do you find is the biggest challenge where you're at?
Oh, I mean, we truly live out here in the province. It's so I mean, there's not any big city, no big malls or anything. I'm like 5 miles away from a big mall, or 5 hours away from a big mall.
Right.
So, and I wouldn't even call it a big one. It's just a decent one. But no, I think probably our biggest challenge is things when I've been here about 2 years now, And I actually met my wife, my Asawa, in Oklahoma. So she spent 11 years in the States before we popped smoke and came here. And whenever we came back, well, we came back to her town. And when we did this, things were not what we expected. You guys were talking about how things are so much different culturally than they are in the United States. We actually have seen kind of the opposite. It almost seems like we're seeing a lot of the same problems, especially with the kids and stuff, that you're seeing in the United States. Even out here in the sticks of the province that we live in, you know, you see the parents using cell phones and little laptops to babysit their kids, and you see how addicted these kids are to the cell phones and the TikToks and everything else. And it's a lot of the same problems that you see back in the United States that I think is definitely going to, well, we're going to see the same problems start to happen in the Philippines. And I think that whole 50 years behind thing is quickly catching up because of social media and the internet. Um, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the same problems here in the Philippines that we've seen in the States and the Western world. So anyway,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No, I've noticed the same thing from being from the States going to the Philippines. Everybody has a cell phone. You know,
Sure.
everybody is on social media. They're walking around with the phone in their face. It's all been addictive now, and I've got a 15-year-old here that she lives off the phone.
Oh yeah, I know it. Well, matter of fact, my wife was telling me today because we were talking about. Oh, I was watching another video earlier on YouTube, and it was a Hodge twin video where they were talking about, you know, parents back in the States, they're not allowed to spank their kids or discipline their kids or any of that stuff anymore. And I was basically saying, no, that's BS. Um, in most states, especially Oklahoma, where I'm from, not only can parents still spank your kids, but the schools are still legally able to spank the kids
Yeah.
by law. Philly
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
probably vouch for me on that one. You know, coming from law enforcement. But what has happened is everybody has bought into this whole belief, and it's a false belief that no, you'll get arrested and everything for abusing your kids if you discipline your kids. Well, my wife was telling me that even here in the Philippines, the schools are not allowed to discipline the kids anymore. I'm like, man, they are screwing up.
Yeah, but I it's still a different world. The Philippines leads the world in what is it? Text messages and selfies and everything, but it's still a different world. They still have like family means a lot here. Families are tight here. You know, the other day I was driving down the road here in Angeles City and the people were out and they were doing things and they were buying food, shopping, you know, parents with kids and people coming from work. And there was a mass amount of people out. Excuse me. And one of the things I thought to myself, excuse me, is there's no fear. Like back in the States, you get a big gathering in a city, people are ducking and hiding. They're afraid of the violence. You don't have that big violence here that you do back in the States. But yeah, kids, we you guys are all my age probably. We didn't grow up with cell phones. But even
No.
yesterday, we had a friend of my wife's came over and had her little daughter and her little baby here, and they're just looking at the phones. Phones keep them occupied. But
Mm-hmm.
the kids still will still go out and play in the streets here. They'll still go out and have a good time. Um, I think it has changed, but it's not near as bad as it is in the States. I don't think it is.
No, and I think one of the only things that really stops them a lot of times is lack of load. Not a load.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's coming, and I don't know, just from what I've seen. Matter of fact, we were sitting at Jollibee one day, um, and watched this family, this young family, and they had kids probably 4 or 5 years old that were sitting at the table, and they had these little kid laptops. They weren't like full blown, iPads or anything, but they were like the kid type iPads. And the kids, the entire time, the parents were, and the rest of the family, like you said, yes, they were out as a family, but the kids were not engaged with the family. They were engaged in these little iPads. And then I saw the dad go over there because they were about to leave to have the kids, start getting ready. And he tried to take one of those iPads away from the kids. And the kid started to throw a temper tantrum just like they do in the United States.
Sure.
And it's like, oh my gosh. And then the same thing, the other kid, he's reached for the other kid's little iPad, and boy, he jerked it away and gave his dad a dirty look and all this. And I was like, oh my God, it's already happening here. But
I think my child in Mindanao was born with a tablet in her hand.
I think it comes at the christenings.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
But you're right. You're right, though. You go to the mall and you go to the food court, all your teenagers, and they're all sitting there on their phones. Like that interaction that we used to have, it doesn't exist. Yeah, when we were kids, if I did that, if my mom took a toy and I threw a fit, I'm getting a backhand. I'm getting a backhand. It's not happening. But I've never seen Filipino parents or grandparents like crack a kid. Like I'd walk through Walmart or whatever growing up, and I acted up. My mom would have no problem whacking me in the ass or something. You know what I mean? But you don't see that here. I have never seen it here. Does it happen? Maybe it does. I've never seen it.
Well, I can tell you guys, 37 and had a child 4 years ago, and I told the mother I did not want to have my child growing up with the phone in her hand all the time, and I did not get what I wanted. Every time I'm there, it's really bad. She has to have the phone, and it's just part of life, I guess. Can't really get around it. I guess in the schools now, even like grade kindergarten, I guess they're implementing them. I've heard in the school system, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people just give the kids phones because it just keeps them out of their hair.
Yeah,
it is. Being a parent. My mom used to tell me this: being a parent's a hard job. It's to be a consistent parent. And to sit there and tell your kids right from wrong and say, you know what, it was wrong yesterday, it's wrong today, and it'll be wrong tomorrow, and then have to act on that every time your kid makes that mistake or that bad decision. It's tiring as a parent. Well, I mean, look at us. We're all lazy. Nobody wants to spend that time and that effort raising their kids anymore. It's too easy just to throw them an electronic device and let that do the babysitting. And that's what the world's become. And then we're surprised that we have hordes of kids running into 7-Elevens in the States and emptying out the place. We're not raising our kids anymore.
Teach the kids early with their phones so they can be future subscribers. Let's see. I'm going to throw this out one more time. If you want to join the live stream, there's the link. Hop on, say what you got to say. We're going to run this for a little bit more. Then I got to get going. I got to get something to eat.
Neanderthal, if you're there, Neanderthal, please donate another $20 just to make sure we all know that you're still here.
He's still here. I'm catching his comments. Aloe D. Winters. Would you like to come on and say anything, Aloe D. Winters? The famous Aloe D. Winters. All right. Who do we drop?
I got Lazada here, guys. I've got to go. All right. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'll make sure I'll check your channel out.
Oh, I don't have anything on it anymore. It's dead.
All right. All right. Thanks for stopping in. Get it, son. It's great listening to you guys.
Well, at least the conversation got a little bit more rational and it wasn't screaming and yelling between two people.
True. True. People can voice their opinion. You know, my thing is let somebody talk. Let them say what they have to say, and then you'll go ahead and say what you got to say.
Right.
James, how you doing, James?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing well. Where are you at?
I'm in Vieira, Florida.
All right.
I've got 2 tours at Clark Air Base.
Okay.
My daughter was born in the hospital there.
Do you remember what floor she was born?
No, I don't really recall. That was
Right.
about, 44 years ago or so.
Right. Yeah.
I remember a few things about Clark. I remember Lily Hill.
Yes.
And if you can go around Lily Hill, you can actually find Japanese machine gun nests in there, or dugouts. To be honest with you,
I've been to Lily Hill. All right. There's one road that goes up to the top.
yeah, I know.
However, I was told that too, that there are tunnels there that Japanese used. However, they've been blocked off. Like
Oh, that I don't know, to be
and
honest with you.
it will look completely different from when you were there. Things
Yeah,
have grown up and everything.
yeah. The NCO club was at the foot of Lily Hill, not
Yep.
the road that you can drive up to it, but it was actually about across the street from the hospital, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I look at your channel, Chubbs, and what the regular guy. The reason I like the regular guy because he goes to different places,
Right.
places I've never been before. But I remember back in the '60s when Fields Avenue was just a dirt road,
Right.
you know,
I've only seen photos.
with a few bars. There
Right.
was no walking street, nothing like that.
Right.
But I have a good. I wish I could go back, but I'm just too old to go back. To be honest with you,
What
if
about
I
a
did,
visit?
well, not even a visit. I don't even think I could make the flight. That's a long, long flight,
Yeah.
and I've made that flight a few times to the Philippines and Vietnam and elsewhere. So I just can't do it anymore. But that's the
Right.
reason I watched your channel and Chubb's channel and the regular guy, especially you and the Chubbs, because you're there at Angeles City.
You've seen in videos, you've seen the changes over the years from when you were there to now.
Oh yeah, big
Right.
time changes, to be honest with you. And they didn't have bottled water like they do now. I got like dysentery a few times there, and if you want to lose weight, get that because you can lose a lot of weight with dysentery.
No thanks.
But I remember when they went down MacArthur Highway, shooting up the bars and that back in the, I think it was back about 68 or 69, I think it was. But I've got a lot of fond memories of Angeles and the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines. She
Okay.
worked on base at the American Legion when it was on base. It was post 10. But it's a great place, and I even been robbed there one time. So in a jeepney.
Right.
So,
Right.
but they always leave you enough money to get back.
Right.
I think they took me out to Dow or someplace in a rice paddy. So, but
Yeah.
it's great. I'm glad that so many people like it there. And like I say, I wish I could be there because if I would, I'd just stay there.
Right,
But
right.
I still have some. My wife still has relatives up in La Union, so.
Okay.
And I love going up to Baguio. That was a lot of fun. We'd go up there and go golfing during Christmas break, and then run the bars and get the taxi drivers drunk, and you know, prayed you could get home back to the base okay.
Right.
So when's the last time that you were in the Philippines?
I think it was 1975. 75, I think, is when I left the second time. And like I say, my daughter was born there.
Mm.
So she could be a dual citizen because she's got a Philippine birth certificate and, of course, her State Department birth certificate. So, but
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And I remember I used to take my oldest one to the zoo. There was a zoo over there on the other side of MacArthur Highway.
Okay. I never heard of a zoo being here.
Yeah,
There is one now up on Clark, but I
yeah,
never heard of a zoo.
yeah. There was a zoo. It was on the other side of MacArthur.
Okay.
It wasn't super large or anything, but I take my son there and we go look around. So
I think they may call that Walking Street now.
yeah, well, that's a zoo probably. At
Yeah.
least from what I've seen on your your channel and Chubb's channel.
Right.
So, but anyway, great times. I had a heck of a time trying to figure out how to get onto your
Live
link or this thing.
Right.
So
Right. Cool.
I'm
Cool.
kind
Well, thanks for
I'm
coming on.
yeah, I'm kind of old. In fact, when I was there, you could hardly even get a phone. There was only a few telephones, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that
Thanks for coming on and sharing.
yeah, well, it was great listening to everybody speak. So I'm
I
gonna be
learned something new.
yeah, I'm gonna be going to bed here.
All right.
It's 11
It's your
o'clock at
bedtime.
night. Yeah. Take care,
All right.
everybody. Bye
All right,
bye.
Gene. Thank you. All right. I'm just going to wrap this one up. What do you got to say?
All right,
Any
Brian.
final thoughts there, mature family? Maybe he's gone. Maybe he's gone. Anyways, guys, I'm wrapping this one up. Once again, thank you for jumping into live stream. Everybody saying what you got to say. I mean, that's, I wanted a channel where people can talk and express what they feel about the Philippines and their personal experience and what their plans are. And Van Turner, thank you for coming on the live stream. Also, Allo D Winters, maybe next time when you're feeling better. I think I heard you got the runs or something like that. But anyways, guys, we shall talk to you later.